Well, yeah, it's, I've been able to, during watching, I guess it's just interesting, being so, just growing up, admiring this building, with conference and just knowing that it just seemed so unreal last night. It was one of those moments where it was very hard to actually take it in and realize this is actually happening. It's just bizarre because when you grow up having respect for something, you just don't really feel like, those kinds of things, it just seems unrealistic because when you admire something so much and you just grow up with it there and watching it doesn't seem like you're going to be there next. But it was kind of like with American Idol in a way, I grew up watching it and just Imagine performing there. It seems so amazing, but you don't think it'll actually ever happen. And so this is just another one of those experiences, and I think it's going to be it already is one of the most amazing things I've gone to do, and I know it'll be one of the most memorable moments in my life because it's such a privilege to get to do.
Well, as an artist, you're never satisfied. No. So there's always things that you think can go better, and that's one of the great things about doing a repeat performance of something. Sometimes you work very, very hard. You have one performance, and then it's all over. And it's a great thing to be able to do these performances several times because, as I said, you always want it to be better.
Well, I can only echo that too. And in fact, we are, you're not aware, but we're aware of little things, little glitches and so on. Only a matter of unfamiliarity that you suddenly find a camera in front of the monitor you're trying to read from. And you think, well, and also, the text has been it's been adapted to suit, the personality of the speaker. And I woke up this morning. I was never happy with the first line. And at 6:30 this morning, it came into my head. So it's going into the show tonight. So, and I imagine this is going to happen, down the line.
Yeah, I just what they said pretty much. It's, there's always like, if only I had done this, or if I only could have done this better. Why did I do that? I think there's always, which is always great. I think it's great to be able to always have room for improvement because you always have something you always have somewhere a goal to have because it seems like you never reach it ever. But I think that's kind of how it is for everyone in life. It's like there's always somewhere to go, which is great because that's what keeps you moving forward and keeps you working hard.
Well, it's always a bit of a challenge acquiring guest artists. It's much of it's based on availability, so on and so forth. And we actually had some artists who we thought that we were going to be able to have, and then they were unable to come. And this was about the beginning of the summer time. And so we went to work again, and Michael York, I believe, we engaged about 2 months ago, perhaps. He was, and we're just, I have to say that I haven't even told Michael this, but I just happened to see on television a glimpse of Michael York in something, and a light really went off. And 2 days later, I believe that we had made contact, and knew of his availability and looked like it might work. So it's somewhat of a bit of a puzzle in putting it all together year to year.
I think that's what makes this even more special, is the fact that it's not just this amazing event and with the choir and the orchestra and Mac and Michael. It's the fact that of what we're celebrating and what we get to share with music and with the words and just what we're talking about. I think it's there's no other time of year that people feel this way, because it's so strong. It's such a special thing we're remembering, such a remarkable thing, and people can't deny it. And it's there, and so just being able to sing about Christ's birth and celebrating that and remembering it and his life is so great. And I think it's that's just another thing that's very humbling to think about, is that what we're really celebrating, and just to see an amazing way we can celebrate it it's really cool.
And for me, this, in a sense, was a sense of continuity, because over the last few years, I was asked to narrate the Bible, do the entire narration, Old, New Testament. And I lived with that. It was over 550 hours of recording. It's called The Word of Promise, and it's an audio Bible with sound effects and so on. And it turned out very well. And then I was asked to, all things, to narrate Luke in the new, I suppose, Catholic Bible, which is wonderful, because Luke is such a great recorder. I think he was a journalist, and he has a great sense. So to get to do Luke on stage was a sort of dream fulfillment. And also, I've just spent the whole year working on an album of prayers. So one researched them and analyzed them and made a short list. And I'm happy to say that came out last week from Christian Audio. So it's been a whole year spent with these great stories resonating in one's mind. And it just seemed, in a sense, only natural to be here with one of the great Christmas celebrations the world puts on. And as I said, I feel enormously honored and privileged to be in that position.
Oh, well, I guess it just depends on the year. We have a lot of family in this year, and a lot of my mom's side of the family, and it's more of a Latin culture, so we definitely party during this time. It's a lot of, just music and a lot of food and just a real celebration, and it's really fun to get to do. And we also do a lot of Christmas caroling and things like that, which is, I think, is really great to do. I think it's wonderful to get to share, and I think just being able to share music with your family and to see just people's faces light up and just see their smiles and how much it means to them. A simple visit and a simple song can mean so much to someone. It's really great to do.
I'm in the same position. I'm not in a regular place. Being a movie actor, once performing all over the world, so I've spent Christmases in Morocco, where you go to the bazaar and you buy an orange, and it becomes a token of, it's a wonderful present. We sing, and in Russia, wherever, France. But this year we're home, so we shall have the Christmas tree and the trimmings, and we shall have friends. I'm still doing my Christmas cards. It's and I thought, there will be time, but of course there isn't. And so I hope to get them done before Christmas Day arrives. Well, if I may answer first, I don't know if you've seen the program, but it does have a certain Welsh orientation in the story. John Parry, the pioneers who came here and were the foundation of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, which is a great story. I'm half Welsh, so I feel that keenly. That my ancestors should, the courage to cross the ocean to bring the word, the message, and the discipline, and so on, into this what must have been an extraordinary place, terrifying place to be, semi-desert and not yet settled. So that touches me enormously, a great sense of faith, where children dying, going so far, being driven by this inspiration, this message, this divine promise. So I think that is one reason why I wanted to be here, because it is such an extraordinary story, one so well worth telling. Not with David Archuleta on the bill.
No. I think it is surprising, because sometimes you don't feel like, it's like, I don't know. I think the choir always receives an amazing response every year. Even last year, they received over 1 million requests. So it's just every year, it's a very special event that people love to come to. There's so much to take in with the choir and the performers and the orchestra. And I was, when I came in, when Sissel performed in 2006, it was one of the best performances I've ever been to. And that's why it's so even more amazing to get to be here, just because, I don't know, but.
I was very moved to learn too that as we were going out live to a lot of other performance centers, the Tabernacle, the theatre, that I didn't know, and that is extraordinary.
One of the great elements of this presentation that we do every year is that it is filmed for PBS television, and I think sometimes that those of us here locally, forget that this goes out. Really, it's not only a gift to the community here, but it's also a gift to the nation. And of course, our PBS showing is always a year later, but last year's show, which is being shown right now, which of course featured Natalie Cole, we've had more airings of that, national airings of that at really prime times this year than we've ever had before. Well, we have thought about that. It is a challenge. Remembering that everybody on this stage in the orchestra and the choir are all volunteers. And we have explored the possibility, but it just it's very difficult.
It definitely feels a lot of times you don't know where it comes from, really, because sometimes it's like, I can't do that, I'm not capable of that, but you're still given an opportunity to share with a large amount of people something that you love, and that has really affected your life. And so it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I think it comes from somewhere else in a way. I think it's kind of like being an instrument in a way. You're kind of in the Lord's hands, and it's, hearing, that's what's so neat, like hearing Michael speak even, that's what's so amazing to me, is just feeling that overwhelming feeling of just feeling good. It was amazing to be able to feel that from your speech, your spoken word, and things like that. So it's really wonderful getting to do this with Michael. So, but
I'm sure, for all performers, certainly for us, performing is a right brain, left brain thing. On the one hand, there's the left brain that's being very precise. It's monitoring you. You're going to a mark. You're going to stand in a light. You're going to come in on a cue. All these highly technical things are, can I see or whatever. And the right-hand side of the brain says, forget all that. Ignore it. Just let the gods and the angels sing. So it's always a bit of both. But I take your point. There are times when I noticed last night when I said glory to be God in the highest, and the whole choir echoed what I was saying. I was stopped.
Oh, yes. Well, to all my fellow Utahns, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and hope you have a great New Year coming up ahead of you.
And speaking as a Californian, I endorse that. Happy holidays and a great New Year.